Hey, did you see who's here? Like, yeah, they're here. That person who's that really important person, the really valuable one, like the MVP, like they're here. I am talking about you. You are incredibly valuable. Now, I know you might be thinking, well, I haven't really done anything to earn a reputation for being valuable. And well, actually, you're right. There's nothing you can do to earn your value. If you were thinking, yeah, actually he is talking about me, I've done some pretty valuable things. Well, I hate to break it to you, but the reason why you're valuable is probably not what you're thinking. To help us understand the way God looks at value, I want to take us to 1 Corinthians chapter 12. And in 1 Corinthians chapter 12, there's this section where God is speaking through the Apostle Paul, and he's talking about the church, so all Christians. And he's using this image of the body of Christ. And this is what he says. So it starts at verse 21 of chapter 12. It says, the eye cannot say to the hand, I don't need you. And the head cannot say to the feet, well, I don't need you. On the contrary, those parts of the body that seem to be weaker are indispensable. And the parts that we think are less honorable, we treat with special honor. And the parts that are unpresentable are treated with special modesty, while our presentable parts need no special treatment. If you look through that section, and as I looked through it in the original language, when it talks about the parts that, are normally treated as or looked at as unpresentable, it actually, the word means like ugly. And it says like the ugly parts of the body of Christ are actually the really beautiful parts. And they actually get special honor and special treatment. It seems totally upside down to us. But according to God's standard, the way he values people doesn't match the world's standards. If you think about the gospel, though, that makes sense. Because God doesn't want us to come and perform for him. He doesn't need us to be especially do good things for him. Actually, he meets us in our sin, and it's there that he comforts us with the gospel. And the gospel is actually that in something that looked really ugly, right? Jesus dying on the cross. This is an ugly scene. This is where God's love was on display in the greatest way. This is where we see that Jesus laid down his life and took the penalty for your sin and mine, paid for it in order to set us right with God. So God's standard for value is very, very different. Now, does that mean now we should go around and claim, well, I'm the ugly part of the body of Christ. That makes me better than you. That's not the point. The point is that our value actually isn't in anything we do, but our value is in simply being part of the body, part of Christ. See, there's this incredible thing, the whole idea of being part of the body of Christ. It's not just a picture, it's a reality. I'm going to take it to the first chapter of Ephesians, to the last verse. And in this section, Paul again is talking about Jesus and how he is above everything and talking about the power at work in Jesus. But then he goes on and he talks about the body, so the church, and he says, the fullness of him who fills everything in every way. That the church is the fullness of Christ. The idea is of being an extension of Christ. How does Christ fill the world? How does Christ work in the world? It's through the church. You are an extension of Christ, which if you just soak that in, it's just mind-boggling. Remember in the Old Testament, you think about the temple or the tabernacle, and there's that holy place that people couldn't go into. Only a priest could go into one time a year when there was sacrifice because sinful people can't be in the presence of holy God. Well, Jesus, God himself, you are an extension of him. How can that be? Well, he has laid down his life, died for you, and risen again to so make you right with him that through faith in him, you are a holy place of God. You are a dwelling place of the holy God. You are an extension of God himself in the world. What could be more valuable than that?
You can find more short devotions from Pastor Nate Abrahamson on TikTok. His username is nabrahamson. Pastor Abrahamson currently serves Abiding Shepherd Lutheran Church in Cottage Grove and Fort Atkinson, Wisconsin. If you are in the area, he invites you to join them for worship on Sunday mornings.